Go!
What's going on, guys? Bearded Reg here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's the update video of the Ruger SFAR. I've had it for a few weeks now. I've put about 700 rounds through it, learned some things about it, had some things happen with it that I'm going to share with you guys, added some new parts. Overall, still love the gun. I'm just going to go over what I've learned, what I found out about the gun from owning it these past few weeks, I should say. We're going to take it out to range today. I have 210 yards set up, and I think I can get me out to 300 down this way. I don't know, but we're at least going to get 210. So if you guys don't know, the Ruger SFAR is a 308 that is about the same size as a standard AR-15, a standard 5.56 AR-15. So weight is 6.8 ounces, which is super light for a 308 battle rifle. 16-inch barrel gun. It's a really small package. I mean, it's, as you can see, it's standard AR-15 length. Almost all AR-15 parts will fit on this gun. That's something I learned. So we're gonna go just from the back. I'm kind of gonna list off the parts because I've had a lot of questions from the last video about what's on it. So we're gonna go over that. This Magpul stock came on the gun from the factory, and I'm gonna have to read it. It is the MOE-SL. So that's the Magpul stock that comes on the gun. It's a really good stock. I left it on, it's light, it's small, it kind of goes with the build. The sling here is the Magpul. I believe it's the MS4 QD sling. It might be the MS7. But it's an I think it's the MS4 sling. QD, great sling, I run it on all my guns. Moving forward, this is the Magpul K2 grip. I just like that steep wrangle. The charging handle is a standard AR-15 sized charging handle, but it's the BCM charging handle. Fits perfect in it, have no issues. If you guys watch my 716i video, you know that that's a problem with those SIGs. Not with this gun, standard AR-15 charging handle. The safety, I switched to a Radian ambi safety. The trigger, I did the Geisley single stage flat bow 3.5 pound to 4 pound trigger, I believe is the weight on it. The factory trigger in this gun is really nice from the factory. I just wanted something a little bit lighter, and I like that flat face trigger. Moving forward, I have CNC anti-rotation, anti-walk pins. Now the new addition that I'm really excited about is this rail here. So the factory rail from Ruger, it's a nice rail. It's lightweight, very slim, works great on the gun. An issue I had with it though, after about the 400, I believe, round mark, maybe 300 rounds, the rail actually started to walk forward. It wasn't tightened, I guess, from the factory, torqued just right, or it didn't have blue Loctite on it or anything like that. So I tightened it down, put Loctite on it, and I had to call Ruger because I couldn't find any information of anybody out there who has one of these that for aftermarket rail compatibility. So I called Ruger. I spent about 30 minutes on the phone with a lady trying to figure out what rails would work for it. And what they told me was it's a standard AR-15 rail. I said, so Midwest Industries rail will work? And she was like, sure. So I don't even think they were 100% sure on it, but I figured I would take the plunge, bite the bullet. So I ordered a Midwest Industries 15-inch M-LOK rail for it. Dimensionally, it's the same as the Ruger, so I was hopeful, and it works. It went on flawlessly. It did everything it had to do. It slid on, everything tightened up just right, torqued down perfect. It went together great. The rail fits on there perfect. I mean, there's no gaps. It's awesome. And the reason I switched to the Midwest rail, one, I love Midwest rails, but two, I really wanted the pick rail on top in case I wanted to mount my D-ball up here or something else. And for my pressure switch, I had it zip tied to the other handrail because it only has rail sections at the front portion and near the rear portion. So I wanted a full length rail for that on the top. You don't have to change it out. The factory handguard is a great handguard. I would just check the torques on it, the bolts when you get it, just to make sure that it's nice and tight, because mine did walk. But all that aside, Midwest Industries rails, standard AR-15 rails, free flow rails will work on this gun. So that's a plus, guys. If you want to get whatever rail you want, I love Midwest Industries. So there we go. Mod light. You guys know I run mod lights on, this is the OKW 30553, the BCM angled grip. The muzzle device, you can see it's a little bit canted. I didn't have any 308 spacers, so those are coming. The muzzle device is good. It does what it what you need it to do, but the concussion on it is absolutely ridiculous. If you shoot it inside, if you're going to take a training class with this thing, or if a buddy's standing next to you in the range, you're going to blow them out. I mean, the concussion on it is really hardcore, but it helps mitigate that recoil on this gun, which for a 308, it's a very soft gun. The buffer and all that in it, I'm not sure if it's a heavy buffer. I'm assuming it is, but don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at it, but the recoil on this is super smooth. I haven't adjusted the gas block yet. I need to, but for me, it's running, so I'm just gonna let it eat. I could click it down to 2. That's what they say after the first couple hundred rounds, click it down to 2 because the weapon's broken at that point. But I'll fiddle with it later. I'm not worried about it right now. But other than that, I've had only a couple malfunctions out of it, and it was in the first couple hundred rounds. So I think a total of maybe like 3 to 4 malfunctions. But that was all within the first 200 rounds. But since then, I haven't had any malfunctions out of this gun. And like I said, I've put around 700-ish, between like 600 and 700 rounds in this thing in the past few weeks, and it's done awesome. I'm very happy with it. I love this gun. But enough of me talking. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing it. I'm going to get set up on my bog tripod over here. I got a steel target at 210 yards, and we're going to see if I can ring steel with it. And then I hope I can get to 300. But let's start at 200 and see if I can even hit the thing. So let's get rolling over there. So guys, I forgot to mention the optic on this thing, one of the most important parts of the gun. It's the Primary Arms 3X prism scope with the ACSS Raptor reticle in it. It's a great optic for this gun. I think it fits perfect on it. Comes with a bunch of different mounts and stuff like that, so you can mount it farther back or straight up or whatever you want to do to it. But it does great. I've had 0 issues out of it. It holds 0. It's an etched reticle, which is great. So batteries, no batteries. It does have night vision settings, which I think is kind of weird because I have some night vision, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to look through an optic anyway with night vision, and I can't imagine trying to do it with this. I haven't tried it yet, but I might do that in the future. So in here, I just have some standard 147 grain ball. I'm not sure on the brand to give you guys. I'm not sure on the brand of what's in this particular mag, but I do know it's 147 grain ball. I did bring out some Hornady Black 168 grain AMAX, some Freedom Munitions 168 grain AMAX, same but different. And then I have some, that's the ammo. So we'll get this mag loaded up, or I'll throw it on the ground either way. All right, mag seated, let me get my ears. This is literally the first time I've tried this, so I'm probably gonna miss. But we'll see what happens. Bog tripod for the win, though. All right, let's see if we can hit that target. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was 5 rounds, all hit steel. 3 rounds are from shoulder to center chest, and the last 2 I pulled very bad, but they're about gut shots. All still on steel though. Not terrible for the first time ever doing it, so I'm gonna drop that mag. I'm gonna fire that last round. Hit. And I'm gonna load up some 168 grain and go for the head and see if I can hit it. So for those of you who care, those of you who wanna know, this is the Hornady Black 168 grain AMAX. It's really good stuff. I've had the best luck out of this particular ammo in this particular lot, if that's important. Some people it is. So we'll see what I can do with it. I'm gonna try to go for the head, no promises, but let's just see if we can ring it. If the 147 grain, cheap crap can hit, then this should be able to. Let's see what we can do with her. All 5 hits. So that's not terrible. That's not awful. So I'm aiming for the center of the head box on those targets, which I'll take you down range here in a second and show you. And at the center of the head, I'm hitting about mouth region, nose region. So not terrible, especially for me. You guys know on the channel, I can't shoot for crap. So that's not bad. Let's let's try the Freedom munition stuff. It should be the same thing because Freedom and Hornady are, you know, same but different. So we'll load up 5 rounds and I'll aim for the stomach and just see through comparison. Again, for those of you who want to know, like I said, same but different. Again, I'm going to aim for the belly because that's kind of the one area that I haven't really hit much in. Not terrible. I'm getting a little bit of sway. Excuse me. I'm getting a little bit of sway, obviously, because I'm standing and there's wobble in the gun. There's wobble in me. But it did good. So what I'm going to do is run you guys down there, kind of show you the groups. And you guys can make fun of me, judge me, whatever you want to do. Alrighty. Let's take a look at what we got. So the first group, which was the 147 grains, was this one, this one, this one, and one of those down there. Not sure which side, I can't really remember now. But pretty big group, but still rang steel. Then the Hornady Black, the 168 grain Hornady AMAX, was these here. And I believe there's 2 hits here. So there's 2 right next to each other, bam and bam. 3, 4, and then 5. Yeah, I dropped 1 in here somewhere. And then the, what's that place called? Freedom Munitions, there we go. One of the low ones was down here, and then they kind of set up in this area. So overall, not bad. Again, the 168 grains out of my gun obviously run the best. So my hold was right here. Obviously account for the distance because I have mine zeroed at 100, but that's not bad. I mean, that's size comparison. That's smaller than my fat butt. So if you can shoot those 168 grains at a guy my size, you're going to hit them, or even a deer or whatever you want to use it for at 209 yards. So that's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll call that a win, especially for those 168 grains. I'll run those all day long as I can afford to run them. So let's see if we can back this thing up to 300. I have to go over this berm and out yonder to get to that. There. All right, guys, just to show you, clean target. Way down that way. I think we're gonna be closer to 4, but I'll try to laze it and see if I can hit it. And you know, if I miss too bad, I'm gonna smoke my deer feeder right there. So let's not do that. But let's go back down there and see what we can do. All right, guys, we're back at our tripod and 370 yards. That's gonna be a little bit of a shot. All right, guys, so like I said, 370 yards from where I'm standing to that target out there. Let's see if we can hit it. I have the Hornady 168 grain AMAXs in it. Let's just go for it, see what happens. So my point of aim for my first shot, what I'm gonna try to do is put the base of that chevron pretty much right at the shoulder line and see what happens. So that's pretty much the tip of the chevron, a little bit above the head, at least in the reticle at this distance. So. I believe I heard 2 hits. I'm gonna load up 5 more and send them. So let's just see what happens. So essentially what I was doing is trying to walk the rounds in because the brush down there is obscuring most of the target. So pretty much all I can see is from about nipple high on that target. So I'm kind of guesstimating where I'm hitting. I can't really see the shots, but I believe I heard 2. So we'll load 5 more and see what happens. I didn't hear any contact, so let's load 5 more. I think I heard 2 more, but let's leave this here. Let's run up there and check it out. All right, guys, so I just want to kind of show you what I'm looking through. So all this crap is obscuring most of the target. So I'm going to go back and load up some more of the Freedom Munitions 168 grains, because I'm hitting very, very low. We're going to go load up some of the Freedom Munitions and see what happens. I'm going to aim a little bit higher. So let's go back and load up 5 more and see what happens. All right, guys, so I have 6 rounds of the Freedom Munitions 168 grain AMAX. Malfunction. But you guys might be able to see that little piece of brass right there. I have a bunch of that in my chamber now, so I don't know. It's got to be the ammunition. I don't know, but I'm going to try to scrape that out. I'm going to pause you guys, scrape that out, see if I can get this feed, because the bolt won't go home. So hold on. The leftover stuff that I had in my mag from the beginning of the video when I confirmed 0 and stuff like that. So we're just going to finish it out and see what that does. All right, guys, so I retrieved my target, went ahead and put it back with the rest of them, but this is the steel I was shooting at. As you can see, I got a few rounds on the head here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll call it 6. And then 2 here on the edge. Those, my first few shots here. And then a couple on the bodies. Again, I can't see that target very well from out there. I'm going to try to clear that out and try this again, because I know I can get better groups than that, especially if at 200 I was well within a smaller group. All right, guys, so final thoughts on the gun. I love this thing. It's still doing great. I shot 50 or 60 rounds today, some on and off camera. And so that puts this close to 800 rounds. And I haven't cleaned it since I got it. When I got it, I lubed it, oiled it, and here she is. And she's doing great. The only malfunctions I have is the one failure feed you guys saw in my video. And then that Freedom Munitions stuff, that's the first time I've ever ran Freedom Munitions of any type in a gun. And pop primers and brass falling off in the chamber and stuff like that. You know, it's not the gun, it's clearly the ammo, because I've shot Agula, Federal, Winchester, that other crap, that turkey stuff, Lake City, you name it. I've pretty much shot it through this gun just to kind of see how it runs. And that Freedom Munitions is the only ammunition I've had a problem out of. A lot of guys like it, a lot of guys run it. You know, that's just my experience out of it. Luckily, I don't only bought 100 rounds of it to test. So, but anyway, back to the gun, guys. Overall, I give this the Bearded Wretch approval. If you can find one, pick one of these things up. They're super sweet. The gun's light. The gun's very accurate. I am going to try to do a better accuracy test on it at 370 yards again. I'm going to try to bush hog all this so I can see that target from way out there. But we'll try it again. When I do, I'll post those pictures and stuff like that on Instagram, guys, just to kind of see what I can do with it. But 200 yards, for sure, it's accurate, way more accurate than I can be with it. And even at 370, you guys saw I hit headshots with it. I have to learn the reticle in this. This has a, banging it up there. This has the bullet drop compensator in it, the reticle etched in there, 4308 and stuff like that. And in the little booklet, it tells you what holes are for what distances. I need to read that and to go off of it. I was kind of just walking them in. But you can ring steel at it. I'm sure you can push a lot farther. There's other guys on YouTube that have pushed out to 500-600 yards. So it can be done. But for my purpose and for what this rifle is for, you know, 200-300 yards, I feel like I can hit it, especially at 200 yards and in. I feel 100% confident that I can smoke anything out there. But guys, I love this gun. I highly recommend picking one up. Here she is. She's holding up great. There's no wear on her that I can see. The bolt face looks good. The extractor looks good. Chamber's not marred up. I mean, it's not wobbly. It's not loose. Everything's holding tight on it. So, highly recommend it, guys. Ruger SFAR. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for all the subs. I appreciate all the comments you guys left, especially this last video. A lot of good, helpful information, both of what I can do better, what I'm doing better, and stuff I'm doing wrong. I appreciate you guys. Let me know that. I'm going to bring you guys the most accurate, informative, and fun content that I can. So if you guys see anything I do or say that's incorrect, please let me know and I will correct that. If there's something you guys want to see me do better, please let me know. I'm trying to get some editing software to hopefully give you guys better content than my little iPhone editor that I use, because, you know, I'm doing all of this from my iPhone. and it's challenging. But guys, thank you so much. Again, we're going to be giving away a Streamlight TLR1 coming up the 28th of this month. So if you want to get entered into that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. That's it. I paid for it with my own money to give to one of you guys just to say thank you for subscribing. I will announce that winner on Instagram and on here, but the only way I can get your contact info is through Instagram. So once it's announced, please get over there, follow me, and I'll get a hold of you, and we'll get that Streamlight shipped out to you. But guys, thank you so much. That's it for me. Stay strapped, and I'll see you at the range.